Hello, it's Michelle leanaí. I'm a leanaí. I was brought up through the medium of the Irish language at scoileanna and buntáistí and went on to UCD to obtain my degree. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Irish medium education, and we'll also hear from parents, students and teachers about IME and their experiences with it. IME has become the preferred choice of education for a growing number of parents and families the length and breadth of Ireland over the last few years. Irish medium schools followed the immersion method of teaching. This allows the child to acquire the language naturally through the exposure to Irish on a daily basis. Irish is the primary language of instruction and communication in the schools, but the formal teaching of English and more recently other European languages also occur.
The approach that teachers adopt in immersion is a very natural approach. It tries to mimic the way that children have learned their first language, and the teachers speak Irish to the children from the first day, and they help the children to understand what they're saying by using gestures and pictures and concrete materials so that the children understand very quickly what the teachers are trying to say.
Immersion education is like taking a child and you allow them to immerse themselves in a language completely. It's as if they're diving into a swimming pool full of the Irish. The language will be all around them and they absorb it, they learn it like little sponges, they take the language in.
The Irish medium sector has seen significant growth over the past few years. Currently around 35,000 children are educated through Irish at preschool, primary and post-primary level across the island. So what advantages does Irish medium education offer over mainstream English education? Research has shown that children aged between 3 and 10 absorb languages quicker and easier than those aged 10 and upwards.
When we talk about the advantages of immersion education, we can look at the international picture, both in other Celtic languages such as Welsh and Scottish Gaelic and Manx, and in probably the greatest research is in French medium education in Canada, and they would outline such things as cultural advantages in that children are, the aim of the immersion programme would be to make them bicultural and to be aware of the two cultures involved.
Well, there are many advantages, the principal one being that they become very fluent and get a very good command of Irish, their second language. But as well as that, they do so in a way that's at no cost to their first language, and indeed it can be helpful to their first language because they have a greater awareness of language. It develops their thinking skills. There's a challenge in learning a new language, and that develops the brain in different ways, so it affects actually the hardwiring of the brain, as it's called, so they become more flexible thinkers, more creative thinkers. It's also been shown to have a link to the learning of third and fourth language, so bilinguals, which these children become very quickly, they're shown to have a better ability to learn a third or a fourth language later on in schooling.
In Irish medium schools, children benefit from being able to speak two languages, being receptive to third and fourth languages, being able to access the curriculum in a different way. Whenever you speak two languages, it means that you're not just approaching anything like a problem in maths or a geographical issue or a literacy issue from one direction. So you see things from two different directions. You're also biliterate, which is a new word now. You know, we have bilingual children and trilingual children.
For parents and guardians, it is no doubt a difficult time when choosing a school for their children. In this section, we'll hear from parents and pupils who will tell us about their experiences with Irish medium education.
I did have Aoife's name down in both the English medium school and the Irish medium school. We had missed the open day for the Irish medium school, so we just came along. I came along on a morning just to have a wee look, to observe what was going on, and it was amazing. It absolutely was amazing to see children, very, very young children, and how they interacted through Irish with their teacher. It's a small school, so I like the thought of that as well. And when I made the decision, I'm glad I made the decision. It definitely was the right one. It was the right one for my daughter, and I really wish that I'd done it for my son as well.
Whenever the children started at school again, And I said, well, we have to go back to the Irish to do the homework and all. And then I started loving it. I like it. It's difficult, but I really like it.
Well, it was a big decision to send the children to Gaelscoil because neither, my husband or I had any experience of being through one ourselves. Both of us are from a Protestant background, and so we wouldn't actually have learned Irish at all when we were at school, either in primary school or secondary school. I have 4 children, all of which are either in or have been through the Gaelscoil system, Gaelscolaíocht, which is here in Derry, and the experience has been a very good one.
I think there are many benefits for a child going through the Irish medium education system. When they start primary school using the Irish language, they establish a circle of friends that they seem to keep throughout their school life. I've noticed with Leanaí, she has friends yet that she met in primary school, and she has them to the current day. They seem to have something special between them, a rapport, a closeness that you wouldn't always see with children going to other schools.
Sin go bhú go mór páistí bhfuil Gaeloideachas sa bhalla chuir Gaelscoil nó sa bheith go godíonn se leis na páistí féinil atácu eiceil a dearú in san scáil agus tíobh muide den bhalla nó sin dearcad bhí son go bheith go bhfuil Gaeloideachas sa bhalla ach na bhfuil Gaeloideachas tíobh muide den bhalla agus is dóithing dá mhaith sin go dtíireadh le bheith páirte sa phobal agus leis Gaeloideachas tíobh muide den teach go dtíireadh.
So I would recommend anyone that's thinking of the Gaelscoil education to go for it. Find out the information, go and see your local schools and talk to the teachers and raise all the things you're worried about, because I think there are answers to them. I've certainly had a good experience, and also I would say there's a real chance for parents to be involved in schools. Most of these schools are set up by parents, and there is a chance to sort of help be part of building the school you want as well.
My case, it's because I'm from a different background, different culture, and they come in, and I think the Irish community, the speaking Irish community, it's more like wide open. They accept all different varieties and minorities.
Is smailm an scoil seo bíonn tú gobar aithnéil le smailm an Gaeilge agus tá na muinteoirí ítach mai. Is brelam an scoil seo, tá sé an mór agus daithia, agus is brelam na muinteoirí, tá siad ar dóigh. Tíreachas me sé méide, tá trí teanga agam, Gaeilge, Pidgin Gaelish agus Béarla. Is smailm an Gaelscolaíocht mar tá ga hang agad agus heag leat Lord an Gaeilge le do carta.
I think it is different being in an Irish language school as opposed to an English school, because you do have that second language there, so there's that extra branch that you don't get to explore. But also, I don't know, there seems to be a different atmosphere in any other schools I've visited. The Irish language schools always seem much more relaxed, yet we still learn the same things that everyone else does. We still do the same work.
I had a very positive experience in Irish medium education. I think not only the academic education I received there that was top class, but also the social and the spiritual and linguistic education and the cultural education that I achieved, that I gained there as well, is invaluable and has made me the person that I am today.
Personally, I feel there's nothing but advantages when it comes to learning Irish and having Irish. Obviously, I'm bilingual, and going into a place of work, you realise just how many opportunities there are to use your Irish, because you're always coming across various Gaeilgeoirí, and oftentimes your Irish can actually come useful as well in terms of the work you're doing.
I'm having 2 more kids very soon, in a month's time hopefully, and my plan would be really that the education has worked, and that's where I'd be sending them as well. So it's not like I'm promoting it without having put my children where my mouth is, and I'm now doing it as someone who does know the system and is still happy with it. So I really can do nothing but recommend it.
Choosing a school for your children is an important decision in your life and ultimately for them. There are so many questions to be asked and answers to be sought. One of the first questions people ask us is, can I send my child to an Irish medium school even if I don't have Irish myself?
I don't actually have any Irish myself, but no, I have found it hasn't posed any difficulties in the education of my daughter through the Irish medium.
Many parents send their child and then start to learn the language, so they're learning with the child as they go along. However, I had some Irish and I was able to keep up with Clean's schoolwork as she was doing it.
We have always provided Irish language classes for parents, and the uptake has been very positive. Sometimes trails off, but in general very positive.
What about the possible difficulties with homework?
There would be maybe times when we're doing reading that I can't maybe pronounce words and she can't pronounce words. But that has worked as an advantage to me, because then I know that she has a difficulty with that word. So we would put a note in her book if I didn't understand question 8 or she didn't know how to pronounce the word whatever. And it's sent back in then to the teacher, and the teacher then goes back over it. Where if my daughter had gone through English medium education, you probably would have answered the question for her.
Lara herself is able to help me with her homework, and I would say yes, I did have difficulties with it, but just one more step.
Yeah, homework has arisen as a difficulty. What happens is, in most cases, the work we do every day, the homework that night will be based on the classroom work, and basically what we find out a lot of the time is that children who have difficulty with their homework haven't understood what's going on in class. And what we will do then is immediately, we're lucky because we can tell when parents have helped their children with the homework, because sometimes, for example, the Irish might be a little bit back to front or something. And you know immediately. In other cases, if the parents had Irish, they can help the child. What happens when the children are reading, what we do a lot of the time is we get a reading book, and we might put that on tape and allow the parents to listen to the tape and listen to the reading. And there are easy skills that we can give to parents through homework clubs, such as asking your child when they read to you, what does that mean in English? Tell me this story in English, you've just read it to me in Irish.
The school has been very good about saying to us, well, you should just support reading, for example, through any of the languages, again addressing concerns. And definitely for the kids in the school, they're all coming from different backgrounds in terms of whether there's Irish in the home or not.
Cén tionchar a bheith ag an Ghaelscolaíocht Herbert an Bhéarla.
It's been found that pupils in this kind of system learn the second language at no cost, for example, to their first language, English, and also that they're just as good at mathematics and science as children who have received their education through English.
It doesn't actually affect the child's English language development. There have been some surveys done recently. Actually, there was an article in the Irish Psychologist which has, they've surveyed children in South East, and by the end of the primary school education, the children in both schools, in the English medium and Irish medium sector, were at the same level.
Cécho cáilethe is atá an Éireann in Gaelscolaíochta.
We have the same qualifications as any teacher in any school in Ireland. We have had to do our BEds or our PGCEs, and we would also have to have a level of Irish as well, at a high standard.
Does this type of education occur anywhere else?
Well, we hear a lot about Canada and the United States. They're very successful there in promoting bilingualism. In Wales, for example, the Welsh language was declining for over 100 years, and in the last census the number of Welsh speakers has increased, and a lot of that is due to the work that's going on in Welsh medium schools. Similarly, in New Zealand, they've managed to revive the Maori language, and they've been very successful at that also.
I was brought up through the medium of the Irish language throughout my life, and I'm now an Irish teacher, an Irish broadcaster and an Irish journalist based in New York City. All I can say is that my parents definitely made the right decision in sending me to an Irish school, and it's something that they certainly haven't regretted, and neither have I. For further information on Irish medium education in Northern Ireland, please contact Comhairle na Gaelscolaíochta on Belfast 028 90 321 475, or visit the website at www.comhairle.org or email eolais@comhairle.org. For further information about Irish medium education in the Republic of Ireland, please contact Gaelscolaíochta, phone 01 853 5195 or email ifig@gaelscolaíocht.ie or visit our website www.gaelscolaíocht.ie. For further information regarding Irish medium preschool education in the Republic of Ireland, contact Ferbert Níonraí Torranta, phone 01 853 5101 or email eolais@níonraí.ie or visit the website www.níonraí.ie.